Okay, so this is lesson 6, part 2, or second video. So we're looking at the analysis of the CD. So we've already had one video looking at function, aesthetics, information, dimensions, and scale of production. In this one, we're looking at materials, then the industrial process, and so on. So in this particular instance, so materials, so there's a link I've sent you on the website. So we start with the plastic. So this stuff here, more than likely, is some form of polystyrene. It's got a tinny sound to it. It could be high impact polystyrene or general purpose polystyrene. It's a thermoplastic, which means we can mold it. It means that it can be recycled if it's a thermoplastic, from the lessons that we've done. But it's a non-renewable material as well. It scratches sometimes, it sometimes breaks as well. But it can be injection molded, which I've mentioned. So the in tray, this one here, is also polystyrene, this little section here. General purpose polystyrene, so you can use the link on the website for that. The CD is a difficult one because that's an amalgamation of a number of layers of different materials. But the booklet here, it needs a good surface to print onto. So it's white on one side, it's white on the other side. The same with this one, you can see with this section, it's white on the inside and it's been printed on this bit. So more than likely these are going to be solid whiteboard, so it gives a good surface to print onto as well. The grade of it is they're not very thick here, so it's not a board, so it's less than 200 grams per square meter, so it's looking at something in the region of 135 or something GSM for the material on there. So they're your materials. So you want to say what material specifically and why it's those materials. So that material, we can fold it, we can print onto it as well, and we can also cut it. That's the reason, and it's renewable. So moving on, we're now looking at our industrial process, the big section, this one. So you're looking first of all at methods of printing. So we've got two forms of printing, more than likely. The first one is on the CD. This could be done digitally, or it can be printed using screen printing. So you can research screen printing off the website on there. So you can print onto metals or plastics for screen printing. This one, more than likely, these are going to be printed using offset lithography. It's fast, it's high quality, it's readily available, so you can negotiate your price on there. So we're looking at offset for the printing of these. So you've got to say why offset is used. Colours used, it just depends on what CD you've got on there. Looking at this one, there's a multitude of colours that I can see on there. So the most viable colour combinations are going to be full colour, which is CMYK, because you can get any combinations of colours on there. Some of you just might have a solid block of colour on there, for instance like this one. So more than likely it's just yellow and black on this one as opposed to CMYK. So you have to have a look at this. It's difficult because you won't have linear testers at home, but you just have to make a judgment call as best you can as to what they've used. So this one is full colour, cyan, magenta, yellow and black, because I can print any colour with those. Then we're looking at construction techniques, particularly with the paper. So this one, if it's a straight edge, it's been guillotined, so you can research that. This one has got a perforated edge, so I could actually tear that away to weaken that fold here. So we've got a perforation here where it's been cut in, miscut to weaken that edge. This one has been guillotined around the edges. Some of them are stapled here, this one's not. It's a concertina fold on here, so it folds within itself. So you'll have to make a judgment call on yours. So we've got guillotining, we've got die cutting, we've got perforation as well. So you have to research those methods of manufacture. And then the last one is to do with the polymer, the plastic. So this is a complex shape on here. So more than likely, you can tell on here because it's got the little marks, it's been injection molded. So injection molded, you can you can mold complex three-dimensional shapes. It's very, very expensive, so you've got to justify the amount you're going to produce with them, because the molds are thousands of pounds to begin with. So, you know, if they invest in the mold, they can then make a lot of these, which we mentioned before, that this have been mass produced. So we've got injection molding for this part as well. Moving on, you're then looking at social, cultural and environmental issues. I said this was a bit of an issue. The big one is the environmental issues. So this is a material, non-renewable material. It's going to run out eventually, so that's why they're looking for alternative polymers on here. So it's not particularly great for the environment, extracting it as well. So we've got a non-renewable material for this. They can be recycled because it's a thermoplastic after use if you want to as well. This is a laminate, so it's layers of like a foil and a plastic, so they're difficult to separate these, so that's not great. This one is a renewable material, so from plants. trees. It can also be recycled after use as well on there. You can make a judgment call about the emotive effects that music has on you or on society as well. You could mention something about the cultural relevance on your imagery that you might have on there. I mentioned before it could have an explicit sticker on the side where there might be some swearing. So again, there could be a social implication warning that potentially if you're underage not to buy this particular album as well. So try and make that as detailed as you possibly can. Try and be as thoughtful as you possibly can in your annotations, and always give a reason or a suggestion on there. And that should then conclude the first product analysis. Okay.